Hello everyone, this is Prabha, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Dr. NGP Arts and Science College. In this video, we are going to see Introduction to SDLC, Need of SDLC, SDLC Lifecycle, SDLC Models. SDLC is a software development lifecycle. We are using SDLC model to create a software product. Overall, it is a process to analyze, design, develop and test to produce a high quality software. So we can use SDLC to get a high quality software. We can call this also as a process model. It is a pictorial and diagrammatic representation of a software lifecycle. Need of SDLC. We need SDLC to manage and monitor the progress of a project. So once we are developing one project, we must have SDLC model. In that SDLC, we can able to get the progress of our particular project implementation and also planning and observation of requirements to build a quality software. We can create a quality software by using SDLC, and we must have teamwork. Without teamwork, we can't complete any of the software project in a successive manner. Without life cycle, a product seems to be non-systematic and indisciplined manner. So we must have SDLC for the purpose of systematic approach to create a software. SDLC life cycle have 7 phases. First one is planning and requirement. Second one is defining requirement. Third one designing the software. Fourth one developing the project. Fifth one testing. Sixth one deployment. Seventh one maintenance. We are going to see one by one clearly. First one, planning and requirements. Why we need plan and requirement? It is the first phase of the software development life cycle. It is used to communicate with end user and collect the requirements for the project. So we can able to communicate with the end user for the requirements gathering and also planning for quality assurance requirements and understanding the requirements of the product. So whatever requirements given by the end user, we must satisfy in our product development. So we must have proper planning and requirements. Second phase, defining requirements. We must define what are the requirements needed by the end user. That is, after analyzing the requirements, it should be documented. So what are the requirements given by the end user? We must document all those things for the software development. We are calling that documentation in the SDLC model as SRS, that is software requirement specification document. So whenever we have any clarification regarding the requirements by the end user, we can refer that SRS. It should contain all the requirements to be constructed and developed. So what are the requirements of an end user? So all those things will be there in the SRS, and also we must develop all those requirements in a software product. Next one, designing the software. This is the third phase of SDLC. It is used to bind all the knowledge of requirements analysis together for designing the product. So whatever requirements given by the end user, we must combine all those things to design a particular product. Next one, developing the project. This is the fourth phase of a software development life cycle. In that, we are implementing the design and writing the code accordingly. So whatever design we have defined, we have to implement all those things by using fourth phase. And also, we can have the implementation as done using various programming tools. Any of the programming tool we can use according to the end user specification. Next phase is testing. After code generation, we must have testing. So without testing, we can't deploy any of the software product. So we have to do testing against all the requirements received from the end user. We have to ensure all the requirements are satisfied. And also testing undergoes various testing like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing. In that unit testing, each and every module will be tested, and also every module satisfies all the requirements without any error, we can go for the integration, that is combining all the modules. Later on we can go for the system testing and acceptance testing. Next phase is deployment. Once testing all those things are over, we can move on to the deployment. In that deployment, without any error, without any bugs, we can have the deployment of a software. After the assessment of the product, the software is released for use or suggested for the enhancement of the product. So once the testing over, we can deploy. That means we can release the particular software product for the use of for the end user, and also we can have any suggestion regarding the enhancement of a particular product. Either we can go for the release or we can go for the enhancement from the deployment phase. Next one is maintenance. This is the last phase. Once the deployment is over, we need to have maintenance of a software product. That is, this will help in enhancement of the product, and also the process of taking care of the developed product is known as maintenance. So when we are calling the particular software product under maintenance, that means the product is released for the usage of end user. So each and everything in that particular product will be taken care by the end user. That is comes under maintenance phase. Next we are going to learn about SDLC models. What are the SDLC models? We are having so many SDLC models that are listed here. Waterfall model, RAD model, spiral model, P model, incremental model, agile model, iterative model, big bang model, prototype model. We are going to see one by one. First one is waterfall model. It is universally accepted software development model. Why the name waterfall comes to this model? Because of it is flows steadily downwards like a waterfall. This flow is like a waterfall. That's why it is called as waterfall model. In that, analysis, design, implementation, testing, integration and maintenance, everything will be taken care, and also validation and verification of input goes valid and qualified output. So we can have all the phases to create a product under waterfall model. Next one is RAD model. It is called as Rapid Application Development. In this model, we are paying less attention for the planning and more attention, that means more priority we are giving to development tasks. So we no need to have that much planning in the RAD model. That is, we don't have that much attention for the planning, and we are going only for the development task. It targets and deploying software in a short span of time. So we can develop a software in a short span of time by using RAD model. RAD model have some of the phases like business modeling, data modeling, process modeling, application generation, testing and turnover. Next one is spiral model. We are using spiral model for the support of risk handling. So we are having any high risk software product development, then we can go for the spiral model. The name spiral comes to this model because it is like a loopings, that is looks like a spiral. That's why it is called as spiral model. We can't define any of the loop count before creating a product. Based on the product need, that is software product need, we can elaborate that loop quantity. That means 5 loops, 10 loops. Likewise, we can't mention any of the loop count before creating a software. At the need, at the time, we can have any number of looping. That's why it is called as spiral model. Each loop of the spiral is called a phase of the software development. For example, we are creating one high risk software product. That means risk handling is high in that model. That's why we are going for the spiral model, and we have 10 spirals. That means 10 loops in that spiral model. We can call that as a 10 phases of a software development. This is the spiral model. It looks like a spiral. Next one is V model. In that V model, we are having each and every phases with the testing phase. It looks like a V, that is called as V model. It is also known as verification and validation model. It is based on the association of a testing phase for each corresponding development stage. So whatever the stage we are having, we must include the test phase. So then and there we can clear all the errors and bugs while creating a software product. Development of each step directly associated with the testing phase. The next phase starts only after completion of previous phase. That is, each and every phase testing over, we can move on to the next phase. This is the diagrammatic representation of V model. So here we are having all the phases corresponding testing phase for the each and every phases. It looks like V. That's why this is called as V model. Next one is incremental model. Incremental model is not a separate model. It is a series of waterfall cycles. The requirements are divided into groups to start a project. So in this incremental model, what are the requirements is there? It will be divided into groups so that we can able to build all those things easily. SDLC process is repeated until the requirements are met. So what are the requirements by the end user? Each and every requirements need to be satisfied by using the incremental model. Modification to the incremental model allows development cycle to overlap. The modification of any of corrections or anything we can do with this incremental model. Next one is agile model. Agile modeling is a methodology for modeling and documenting software systems. Customers, developers and testers constantly interact with each other to develop a quality product. So in this agile model, interactions are more. Next one is iterative model. It is a particular implementation of SDLC. It is focuses initially, then progressively gains more complexity and broader feature set until final system is complete. In short, it breaks down the larger application into smaller pieces. So what are the requirements? Everything will be divided into smaller pieces and we can implement all those things. This is comes under iterative model. Next one is Big Bang model. It focuses on all types of resources in software development and coding with no or very little planning. Here also planning is very little, but we are concentrating on the development. Here the requirements are understood and implemented when they come. So what are the requirements coming for the development? Then and there it will be understood by the developers and it will be implemented. It is best suits for small projects with smaller development team with coordination. If any of the smaller software company or any of the smaller projects, we can choose Big Bang model. Next one is prototype model. It starts with the requirements gathering. The developer and the user meet the define the purpose of software, identify the needs. A quick design is created and focused on those aspects of software that will be visible to the user. It leads to the development of a prototype. In a nutshell, we learned software development lifecycle, need of SDLC, SDLC lifecycle, SDLC models. Thank you.